morning, everyone. Welcome to the new session of English. I am Roslyn, your English teacher. Today, we will be dealing with a very beautiful poem written by Robert Frost, Dust of Snow. Before entering deep into the poem, let me ask you a very simple question. Try to think about it. Suppose you are in a mood of depression, anxiety, or you are little disturbed because of some unknown reasons. So, what will you do in order to change your mood, to come out of your negative feelings? I would suggest try to recall the list of the things that actually you have done to laugh a lot or to lighten up your mood. Robert Frost was an American poet. He is known for his realistic depiction of rural life. He belonged to the 20th century. Now, the poem Dust of Snow. The way a crow shook down on me, the dust of snow from a hemlock tree, has given my heart a change of mood and saved some part of a day I wrote, written by Robert Frost. As the title suggests, dust of snow. It means the particles of snow. Snow is an element of nature. Let us move on to the poem. Dust of Snow is a simple poem of 8 lines in 2 stanzas. Each of the 2 stanzas in the poem follows the same simple rhyme scheme A, B, A, B. Dust of Snow is very simple in structure yet very poignant in content. Poignant means what? Causing sadness or deeply affected someone's emotions or feelings. As you can see in the background, a crow is sitting on a branch of a tree and a person is standing under the tree. Let's imagine the person to be the poet or the narrator. Because of the crow's movement, the trees that are covered with snow was falling on the person's body standing under the hemlock tree. Let us move on to the first stanza of the poem. The poem begins out of nowhere. Why nowhere here? Nowhere means that, or as you can see, there is no background details or description has been given by the poet. It's the poet has just said that out of nowhere the poet is beginning the poem. And we don't know why was the poet standing under the tree. What has happened to him? That also we don't know. Now let us move on to the poem and see what is happening in the poem. The poet gives us no details about what happened that day or what was he doing in the snow. We understand from the first stanza that the poet was standing under a hemlock tree. Here, hemlock is a poisonous evergreen tree which is found in North America and Eastern Asia with small cones and short flat leaves and small white flowers. It is considered to be a poisonous tree. There was a crow on one of the branches of a tree. When the crow made some movement, the snow went down on the poet, or it fell on the poet. In the second stanza, the poet says that this small incident made his mood light up. Through the words of the poet, we can understand that the poet was having a very bad day, and the way the crow shook the snow to the poet's body made his day. I can say the poet was upset and was standing under the hemlock tree. Suddenly, a crow sitting on the tree shakes the tree, and the fine particles of the snow from the tree falls on the poet. The soft and the cold touch of the snow changes the poet's mood from sad to happy. He starts feeling refreshed. In this way, a simple movement proves to be very significant and saves the rest of the day of the poet from being wasted and held in regret. The black crow is commonly a symbol of death and fear, since the crow is not associated with goodness. It is ironic that in this poem it is doing a good deed or a good work by shaking off the snow. Now, the figures of speech. As I have already said you, what do you mean by figures of speech? Figures of speech is a creation of a spatial effect by the poet to draw the attention of the reader. For example, alliteration, simile, metaphor, personification, and many more. Here in this poem, we are having here assonance. Assonance or vowel rhyme. It is the repetition of the vowel sounds across a line or a verse. Example, O sound in shook down on me. Alliteration. Alliteration is the repetition of the same consonant sounds at the beginning of the words that are in close proximity to each other, means very close with each other. Example, H sound in has given my heart. Here H sound is repeated. And saved some part. This is another example. And saved some part. Here S sound is repeated. So this is alliteration. Don't get confused with assonance and alliteration. Assonance is the repetition of the vowel sounds, whereas alliteration is the repetition of the consonant sounds. Now, what are vowels? A, E, I, O, U are known as vowels, and the rest of the alphabets are known as consonants. Critical analysis of the poem. What we have understood from the poem. Creation of a gloomy mood in the beginning. Gloomy means what? A sad mood in the beginning of the poem. Use of nature as symbols. Crow and hemlock tree as the negative symbols to create the sad or a gloomy, dull atmosphere. Snow is the symbol of joy or happiness. At the end, the negative becomes positive. Message of the poem. Robert Frost, through the poem Dust of Snow, tries to make us understand that every bad situation has something positive in it. Instead of being sad for the situation, we should try to find the positivity in it. We should always have an optimistic feeling, optimistic attitude, a positive thinking about each and everything that is happening every day. Meanings: hemlock, a poisonous coniferous evergreen tree of North America and Eastern Asia with small cones and short flat leaves and small white flowers. Rude, held in regret. Now the assignments for you. The first question: what is the underlying message for us in our hectic life with reference to the poem Dust of Snow? Second question: no matter how ordinary or unimportant an incident may be, it's the reaction or the response that matters. Taking inspiration from the poet's reaction, write how inherent values can be picked up and learned. I hope you all must have enjoyed this beautiful poem, as the poet has given some examples related from the nature. Here, nature has become a mood changer for the poet. For example, when we see a flower blooming, we really feel very happy to see it. Or when we see a baby's smile, we feel as if all our sorrows, all our sadness has faded away. It has gone away. We enjoy the smile of the baby. In the same way, our attitude should always be optimistic, be positive. Thank you.